Tonight's ceremony is also being live streamed. It can be accessed through the feed at purpleeagles.com. Just look for our YouTube page and the Niagara Sports Network. Folks, first of all, it is great to see what is becoming some close friends. This is a very busy weekend. I see a lot of people I didn't know you Thursday morning, but here we are. I feel like I know a lot of you. So thanks so much for being here throughout the weekend of great Purple Eagles athletic events. This is truly one of the most special nights of the year whenever we are to induct a class, and certainly this class of 2021 will not disappoint. We have a great night of activities in store for you here tonight. We're going to get things started. I will bring up the Director of Athletics here at Niagara University. Ladies and gentlemen, in his 8th year, Simon Gray.
Thank you, Todd, very much. Just really appreciate a round of applause for Todd Callan. He's a tremendous MC. Maybe we should have saved that till after the dinner, Todd, but I know you're going to do a terrific job. And it really just bleeds purple, travels and broadcasts the games, but also is ready and willing anytime we have an event. You represent us so well, Todd. Thank you very much. So our goal in the Department of Athletics is to elevate the profile of Niagara University. It's our mission to bring in the right type of people who can represent you, the alumni, you, the fans, and most importantly, our institution, now and into the future. We do that with 3 core values: integrity, commitment, and excellence. Everybody that we surround ourselves with, we want them to meet those 3 core values. Our inductees tonight absolutely personify integrity, commitment, and excellence. Out of a round of applause for our inductees 2021. If I may, I want to brag on our 347 athletes for a minute and our 60 or so staff members in the athletics department, but we are truly ascending. Our academic excellence is off the chart. We have over a 3.4 GPA amongst all of our student athletes. Our #1 major is biology in our student athletes, then education, sport management, and business. So they are getting it done in very rigorous programs. We also have a lot of nurses in the student athlete population, so I'm so very proud of them. And this year we've set a record with a 95% graduation success rate, and 8 of our teams had a perfect 1,000. How about a round of applause for the academic success of our sport programs? Thanks to Father Marr and our Board of Trustees, we're also incredibly improving in our facilities. I hope you've had the time to spend on campus. We have a $12 million project going on in the Kiernan Center. It's going to be a complete renovation and transformation, which will benefit all of the students at Niagara, but also provide locker rooms on a full-time basis for several of our programs that haven't had them. We also have recently renovated our program locker rooms for our basketball teams, and we're working on our volleyball team as well. So those of you who are student athletes in here, you can understand how important a locker room is, because that's where you get to have your team time together. And watching our hockey team today in the locker room where they won so many and I think celebrated after so many victories was truly, truly special. We also have made improvements in Dwyer Arena, which we were able to show off throughout the weekend, some aesthetic improvement and some structures. And so the brightest days are ahead, I think, for us on the facilities perspective. We also had our highest ranking in the Commissioner's Cup this past year, and that's a comprehensive metric of all of our 18 Division I teams in the MAC and Atlantic Hockey, so incredibly proud of that. And everyone in here, I want a big round of applause after this. We won the Battle of the Bridge, which is our annual competition against Canisius for the first time in recent history, so absolutely proud of that. We had a very successful fall. We are going to have a very successful winter and spring, so please follow us on purpleeagles.com. Please continue to wear our apparel, carry our flag in the communities where that you live, because we're doing what you're doing. We are here to serve the Vincentian mission of Niagara University. With us tonight to celebrate in our guests, we have our president, Father Marr, who's a tremendous supporter of athletics and is doing a phenomenal job leading our university in very difficult times. So we'll hear from Father Marr later this evening. We have our provost, Dr. Timothy Ireland. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, is he really the provost? Provosts aren't this cool. So Dr. Ireland, it's great to have you with us. We have faculty members, we have deans, we have staff employees, we have several alumni, we have donors who are incredibly important, especially in this evolving landscape of collegiate landscape. We need the help, and we appreciate the resources that you are providing so that we can provide a student-athlete experience that is second to none. We have coaches here tonight. We have Niagara University students. We have former coaches. But everyone in this room is a friend and has a home at Niagara University. And we're here tonight to celebrate and honor an absolutely tremendous Athletics Hall of Fame class. To our inductees, congratulations. I hope you've enjoyed the weekend. I hope this is the capstone. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. Everyone enjoy the dinner. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Simon. At this time, I would now like to bring up Hall of Famer, Father Joseph Hubbard, CM, for tonight's invocation. Father Hubbard.
He's the voice, and my voice isn't what it usually is after 2 basketball games. Gracious and loving God, we offer you thanks as we have gathered together to honor your gifts in the lives of those whose dedication and spirit have represented Niagara University so well. As you blessed our Hall of Fame class of 2021, Brittany, Kathryn, Coach Joe Mihalich, and legendary players and the staff of the 2000-2002 women's ice hockey team in their efforts on the court, on the soccer pitch, and on blades of steel. In recognizing these honorees, we do so as they are pillars of the wonderful legacy of confidence, of clarity of direction, and of a heightened sense of purpose upon which Niagara University stands. We do so as well for the lives they have led beyond Mount Eagle Ridge, lives based on the affection they share about this, their college home, lives through which they impact the world around them with the spirit and power of Niagara, doing so by walking in the footsteps of St. Vincent de Paul and making your love known to those in need. We join to our prayer the heartfelt appreciation voiced in these days about the camaraderie shared by these, our honorees, and the role their coaching staffs and teammates, Hall of Famers in their own right, played in competition and in the lessons they have learned about life. Blessed as we are tonight with the presence of a number of such mentors and friends, we pause to remember and lift up to you those you have called home and whom we hold so warmly in our hearts, including Brother Steve Kennedy, CM, Dolores Mihalich, Carolyn Newman, our season ticket fans like Tom Hofschneider. And we ask your blessings, Lord, on all of our NU alumni and fans especially the family and friends of our honorees, for their continued support of Niagara's athletic programs today. Please bless the meal shared tonight as we enjoy the bounty that flows from you, the source of our hope, peace, and love forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Father Hubbard. And one of the most anticlimactic, or least anticlimactic sentences ever. It's time for dinner, folks. Great job, Father Hubbard. Thank you very much for literally and figuratively setting the table for us. Folks, we hope you have a great meal. We'll pick up the program after dinner. Thanks so much.
here tonight is an amazing group. We only had been a program for 4 years, but we had one goal in mind: to be the best in the nation. Reflecting over the years on why our team was so successful, and many things come to mind. What is it about certain teams that really make them so special and successful? Obviously, teams need talent. We had the talent, but successful teams have depth. If a player is hurt, another player needs to step up. It could be scoring a goal in overtime, blocking a shot at the blue line. Whatever it took, we got the job done. Every player contributed and had a different role to play. It was always team first. We bought into the systems, and we all sacrificed a little bit of ourselves for the good of the team. Team success also comes from what happens off the ice. So much of the fabric of a team is built up off the ice. We were friends, had each other's backs, and the truth is, it is still the same today. We are still a big part of each other's lives. Off the ice, our parents were and are still very close. Our parents would tailgate at every home game and drive for miles to support us. And we also had great fans, the best in the league. All these things and more made us the most successful team in Niagara University athletics history. In the 2001-2002 season, we were ECAC League champions. We went 26-8-2, 11-0 in conference games, and we were invited to the Frozen Four. That season, we trained in the early mornings and hit the gym in the afternoons, all while trying to attain good grades. Success demands sacrifice, and we were all on board. We played some very good schools that year. We won games with seconds left on the clock. We beat powerhouse teams like the University of Minnesota, Northeastern, Brown, and UNH, most of whom had Olympians on the roster. In March 2002, our goals were getting closer to being reached when we were chosen to be one of the 4 teams to participate in the Frozen Four at the University of New Hampshire. Our little school had made a name for itself in the hockey world. We unfortunately did not achieve our goal of winning a national championship, but as great teams do, we scored with 2 minutes left in the game to tie it up with the University of Minnesota to earn 3rd place in the nation. We want to thank our parents. All this wouldn't have been possible without our parents. All your hours spent driving us all over, hours spent at the rink, and all your support during our years at NU. We appreciate and we love you. We also want to thank the NU community. Christine Schwartz, Barb Green, Mike Herman. What a surprise it was to see you this weekend. Wonderful. Marin Demizio. And thank you to the coaching staff. Our trainers. Being a successful coach requires a lot of long hours with meetings, analyzing video, practices, games, but you made us feel like you cared about us as individuals. We appreciate your sacrifices, and we are happy to be sharing this success with you as well. Thank you, Simon and Deidre, for all your hard work in organizing this special weekend for us. Although Niagara Women's Hockey is no longer on campus, we existed, and we helped grow the sport of girls hockey in this community. We feel honored to have been role models to young girls and boys in this area, and we are happy that we will continue to do that for years to come as inductees in the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Yes, I hope we have conveyed to you how much this school meant to us as individuals and meant to us as a team. And this weekend, coming back to campus and seeing all you and feeling that support again, our love grew. Back home, I raised my family by the Mother Teresa quote, "Do all small things with great love." And ladies, we did a big thing, and we did it with all our love. I'm so proud to call you guys my teammate, but more importantly, I'm so blessed to call you my friend. Thank you so much, Niagara University, and go Purple Eagles. Yeah.
Ladies, thank you very much. That was fantastic. And there was no surprise that the rest of the team was going to hang around, right? The captains, they didn't do it on their own. A collective effort back then and also tonight. There's one other thing that I wanted to point out. I didn't know about this until about 2 hours ago. But I called up Linda Groff. Now, Linda was here a little bit earlier tonight carrying this bag of treats. I find out that here we are 20 years later. They talk about the impact of the parents and the help of their parents. Well, apparently, Marcy Groff is quite the chocolate chip cookie maker. So Linda comes in with this bag of chocolate chip cookies. I don't know if there's any left, but I got one. So I'm not going to tell you where it is, but I'm pretty fired up to get one. I have to ask the players, any chance some of the ladies that didn't get here tonight are going to get a cookie? I don't think so. All right, so tremendous, but, you know, kind of a neat little treat there. Next up, if folks can once again focus on the screens, we are going to play a video for our next inductee.
Brittany Biznott was an integral member of the Niagara women's soccer program from 2004 to 2007. Biznott was the 2004 MAC Rookie of the Year, and in 2007 was selected as the MAC Offensive Player of the Year. She finished her career at Niagara with 60 goals and 136 points, both of which ranked third in program history. Biznott was also a first-team academic All-America honoree, and in 2008 was one of 58 NCAA student-athletes to be awarded educational grants through the NCAA Postgraduate Scholarship Program.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to bring up to the podium, please welcome Hall of Fame inductee from women's soccer, Brittany Biznott.
All right. Hello. Good evening. I'm going to start by apologizing. It's going to take some turns before I come back to where I really want to go, but I'm never going to get a chance to say what I want to this group of people again. And I'm not going to apologize for it, but I'm fairly certain I'm going to not be able to do this without crying. I'm already crying from the women's hockey team. So everyone just bear with me. I have my tissues ready. So I do want to start by saying thank you. Thank you all so very much. I am unbelievably grateful for this honor, and I'm so happy to be here accepting this award with my family, my friends, and Coach Veltry's watching on the live stream. To the women's 2001-2002 hockey team, to Kathryn Rafter, Coach Mihalich, congratulations. But also, thank you for what all of you have done to allow me to be standing here. There was a point in which I never thought I'd get here, and I don't mean the Hall of Fame inductee. I mean as a Niagara University Purple Eagle alumni. It was after the season in my sophomore year. I had one of the absolute worst experiences I'd ever had in my life. My teammates believed I did something I didn't. I was ostracized, and no one was willing to step up and actually stick their neck out for me. The thing I was told over and over again was that nobody wanted to take sides. I cried almost every day for months. I felt absolutely alone. Over winter break my sophomore year, 2005 into 2006, I made an appointment with then AD Mike Herman, who I'm so happy he's here tonight. I don't know if he's ever told anyone this story, but I had every intention of telling him I wasn't going to participate in spring season. I wasn't going to play again for Niagara. I was leaving. Then, about 2 days before, I got my report card. While I told myself I had to put my mental health before everything else, I wasn't an idiot. The plan was I was going to have my father drive me from Brampton, Ontario. I was going to come here. I was going to say, I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore. But for anyone that somehow doesn't know this, I've always wanted to be a lawyer. Thanks to Matlock, I joined the criminal justice department. But then, thanks to teachers like Dr. Barnwell and Dr. Shefflin, I also minored in philosophy and sociology. But I also had the perfect melding of finding out that what I wanted to do, I actually had an affinity for. Well, that semester, my grades were all A's, and I had above a 4.0. So I ended up going into the meeting with Mike, and I showed him my report card, and I told him what I was gonna say. But then I explained that everything had changed. From that point forward, I shifted my focus. I had friends outside of my team. Don't get me wrong, most of my teammates weren't mean or bad intentioned. They just didn't go out of their way for me. I teared up a little bit listening to the women's hockey team sport because what they had, I didn't. Not that year. But I made sure to remind myself that I was given an opportunity to get a first-class education. So I realized I could drop into professors' offices during office hours and completely take over their entire afternoon. I'm sure there were at least 100 other things Dr. Ireland had to do every time I showed up, but we just chatted away. Eventually, things did get better. Once I decided I wasn't going to leave, I also decided that I wasn't going to let anyone else affect how I felt or what I did. So then junior year came. With it were so many wonderful things. The first MAC championship in women's soccer history. MAC player of the tournament. We got to the NCAA tournament, and I was the second leading scorer in Division I that year. Those accomplishments mean so much more to me than just athletic awards. They were an even bigger testament to my strength and mental perseverance. But here's the thing. I've never been able to talk about what my junior and senior year at Niagara meant to me. I did interviews for newspapers, even ESPN after we won the championships, and I was asked time and time again about team dynamic. What could I say? I'm being ignored by a select group who thinks I did something I didn't, and others don't want to pick sides. It's fine. No. There's actually a terrible article that has miles of smiles in the title, and the picture is me trying to hold back tears. But while today is a day of celebrating all of our athletic accomplishments for the inductees, and believe me, again, I'm going to say a heartfelt congratulations. But thank you for unintentionally giving me this moment. I'm finally using it to speak my truth. And honestly, none of it matters. What we did on the field was amazing. But for me, I'm here and standing on this podium accepting a Hall of Fame award. And it means so much to me. To my teammates. Unfortunately, especially my classmates, they were unable to make it tonight. But no matter what, I couldn't have done any of this without you. the bad, but also the amazingly good and great experiences. To some of them, I just have to name Katie, calling you, saying I felt terrible. You would come and take me to Timmy Ho's. It really did save me. To Jamie, you kept me happy, and I was so sad. To my S Club, Sako, Rena, Aaron, Schmung. It did hurt, but you were my sisters, and I love you. To all the others, like Eris, the volleyball team, everyone on the men's and women's basketball teams, having Greg and Juan here, and back then, Sharon was my best friend, but so many others. Thank you for just accepting that I would randomly show up and hang out. But I do want to also say a heartfelt congratulations and a thank you to Coach Veltri. I know he really did want to be here in person today. But, Coach, you've always been there for me. You supported me. And even when you had no idea what was going on. I know I never told you I was going to leave, but I'm happy that I didn't. Thank you for providing me with this home. Thank you, Dr. Ireland, the entire criminal justice department, Dr. Barnwell, Dr. Baxter, every teacher I had, and every teacher I might not have taken a class with, but who engaged me throughout my time here. You all made me feel smart and believe in myself. I started here at 17 years old. I was an international student, female, Black. There was never a time between my start and when I graduated at 21 when any of you spoke down to me or made me feel lesser. You all taught me what type of professional I wanted to be. Helpful, knowledgeable, approachable, and hardworking. I felt confident and prepared, and I know that it's thanks to you all. Again, I never got the chance to talk about it or celebrate my wins out loud, but I did have some huge ones, so bear with me. I got a full scholarship to law school, George Washington in DC, top 20 school. I got a government job with New York City state government right out of school. I became a support magistrate for the state of New York at 31 years old, and that's what I'm doing today. Now, on to my family. Even though they were unable to join me tonight, I have to thank my 5 brothers. A lot of my identity growing up was centered around being Ryan, Rohan, Sean, Adrian, and/or Fabian's little sister. It played such a huge role in my life. On the one hand, being beat up by them really toughened me up. But on the other, honestly, that toughness was a big part of who I was, who I am, on and off the field. They set so many examples for me, and I could never have done what I have without them. My best friend was supposed to be here tonight, but she had a fever, so she didn't make the trip. But to Leslie, you're my best friend in the world. You always let me rant and rage when I needed to just get it out. You are my heart. I could spend the next hour listing all the friends and people who loved me and helped me get here, but I'm sure I'm already gone over what time I'm supposed to have. But to Bud and Nadine, not only did you raise my favorite person in the world, I'm so happy to call you the family I chose. Thank you for all the love and support you've given me over the years. To Dane and Dina, I'd never been an older sibling before, but thank you for accepting me and instantly loving me easily. I have to thank, obviously, my parents, Philip and Geraldine. Besides giving me life. The example you've set is unbelievable. First, as immigrants, raising 6 children, leading by example with hard work, and then showing me support in almost every choice I've made. My mother is the epitome of a strong woman. While running our household, she was always there for me. Mommy, thank you for leading by example, by showing me what it looks like to fight for what you believe in. During summers, my father used to wake me up at 6 a.m., feed me breakfast, let me sleep another hour or so, and then we'd go out and work on drills. We'd do that until the day was too hot without risking heat stroke. Daddy, thank you for teaching me about hard work and for catching me whenever I fell. You were both my taskmaster and my best friend. It was the second semester, my sophomore year, right after I chose to stay at Niagara, that I met Ray. I had just made the choice to stay, and we started dating, and happy I chose. Ray, thank you. There would be no Hall of Fame induction without you. You helped keep everything in perspective, calming me down when there was a game or something with my team that riled me up. You took on so much at 19 years old that you didn't have to. There were times he would just hold me as I cried, but he'd always remind me that law school was the next step. You've supported my choices for where I applied, what I did, and you came with me after you graduated. You and I have built a beautiful life, and you've helped me create 2 wonderful children, neither of which are paying attention right now. Oh, of course, drawing trained. I love you. Thank you. To the Purple Eagle community, to the NU community, Simon Gray, the entire Niagara University Athletic Department, thank you. This means the world to me.
Congratulations, Brittany. And you have to give a memo to your 5 brothers that they now have to refer to you as, my sister's a Hall of Famer. So that should work a little bit better. Tremendous. All right, folks, now back to the screens as we introduce our next Hall of Fame inductee.
Kathryn Rafter was a pioneer for women's sports at Niagara University and helped lead the initiative to have women's sports officially sanctioned at NU. She was a member of the women's basketball program from 1971 through 1975. In 1974, Rafter became the first female student athlete elected to the Athletics Advisory Council, which helped implement Title IX. Kathryn has continued to be a generous benefactor of the Purple Eagles women's basketball program and also Niagara University as a whole. Rafter was inducted to the MAC Honor Roll in 2015.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the Niagara Athletics Hall of Fame from women's basketball, Kathryn Rafter.
Wow, this is pretty nice, isn't it? Hardware. I've got a couple of notes here because I want to remember some certain points that I want to make because I was a point guard So, first of all, to the women's hockey team, you rock. I mean, you really rock. You slide, you glide, you shoot, you score. Unbelievable. 26-8-2, 11-0 in the conference. What a great accomplishment. And so unbelievably, really just wonderful to share this class of Hall of Fame with you. Brittany, thanks for sharing your story. It's really important that we hear how tough it is sometimes and what it takes to persevere and overcome some of the obstacles that exist with relationships, academics, the hard work that all the student athletes put in. And it's really great to hear, oh my gosh, how success you are. You just look at your family and you can tell you've really got it going. Coach Joe, I just met you for the first time this weekend, and you have to tell your wife that we are in love. I'm really sorry, but we're running away. If anyone represents the heart and soul of Niagara University, you do. And what an honor it is to be sharing this class. So here's a couple of things I'd like to mention in terms of points. People who light the sparks seldom get to feel the warmth of the fire, which is a great way to think about any change you're trying to initiate. But it's not so great because you feel like you don't have the rewards. Well, I'm getting the rewards, and one of the best rewards was watching the women's team beat Cornell today. So that's the old, you've come a long way, baby. And if anyone likes that quote, if you might like to make good trouble, you can find it on, you probably thought it was Gandhi or Eleanor Roosevelt or something like that, maybe even St. Vincent. It was Madam Secretary, Season 6, Episode 7. Okay. So I don't forget, I put the thank yous up front because it's really the most important to acknowledge the gratitude that I feel and the love I have in my heart today. And first of all, my family, mom and dad, who really gave me the gift of attending Niagara University. They were fantastic. They sent me away and said, "You'll be fine. You'll be fine," and moved to England. Right? My sister AJ is here with her daughter and son and my two great nieces. And they all know my parents, and we call them mom and dad, but they really preferred to be called Mr. and Mrs. Rafter. So I've got to say, our family is fantastic and fully supportive most of the time, as long as we behave, which was some of the time. Okay. We started something, and we had a couple of folks who were instrumental, and they're no longer with us. In the success of the women's basketball program, John O'Leary, Mary Beth O'Leary's father, who was a fellow player, in 1971, 72, and 73, came out 4 or 5 times a week for practice. He was a volunteer coach, got paid nothing. He drove from Buffalo many times a week, set up games for us. So literally, we were a startup, and he was one of the first supporters. Dean of Women, Rosina Conville, scraped together some funding for like the first really athletic program we had where we felt we could get some traction. Betty Kimmel was somebody, also a Dean of Women, who followed Rosina Conville. And she literally drove us to games in her car. So those are people who gave so much to a group of 15 women who attended, who just loved playing basketball. And it started to get some traction. Our team showed up. If we hadn't showed up for every practice, every game, it would have fizzled out. And actually getting the funding would have taken years more. So we had people who were just dedicated to competing and playing basketball. And each one of them has a big role in the success not only of the women's basketball team, but also led to the scholarships and no programs that you're hearing about, like soccer and hockey and all the other successful programs. At the table where we're sitting is Mary Roykel, fellow Hall of Famer, class of 75er, and she stuck with the team for all 4 years. We were co-captains our senior year and actually ended up coming back and coaching. And then Janet Schrammick, who is there, she was my roommate for 4 years. And you know the show, The Odd Couple? I wasn't Felix. So Janet, and she played basketball as well as part of that first team. What I've learned as another point as point guard is that change is a team sport. If you want to get something done, you have to make a case for it. It's got to be compelling. You've got to recruit some allies, like the Dean of Women, like Frank Layden, later on when we really had some traction. And you have to stick with it. A really important thing to understand is it doesn't happen overnight. So every chance you get to celebrate milestones, take it. They don't have to be big milestones. They could be, oh, practice is over. So here's how far we've come. We didn't have uniforms. We played in the men's discarded practice jerseys over cutoffs. We didn't have really full-time coaches. We certainly didn't have a locker room. We were kind of outliers in the Niagara community. Oh, those girls are playing basketball over there. Just let them, play for a little while. And it was so long ago, to put it in perspective, we did not have athletic shoes for women. We wore men's Converse, low cons, and they didn't have sports bras then. So things have changed significantly. Change is good. Change is good. Okay. So today, we've got 15 scholarships for the women's basketball. We've got the support of Father Marr. We have Simon Gray over there. We have high-class, top-notch coaches. We've got staff. We've got facilities. There's brand new locker rooms. It's a really good place to be, and it's a great place to come back to. So thank you very much. One other person I would like to thank is my partner, Francie. She's an ex-Aggie basketball player. Thank you for all the support and getting me to these functions on time, because that's a very difficult thing to do for anyone, particularly a, partner. So there is a quote that says, "Sports is a place for all dreams and all dreamers." Thank you for making my dreams come true and being a part of a special part, not only of Niagara Universities, but the athletics community. And I accept this on behalf of all the team members, all the women who have played here and will play in the future and will continue to win. So thank you very much.
Kathryn, hold on. Here you go. Whew. That was close, because I think you actually have to have the plaque to say I'm in the Hall of Fame. So, whew, an assist for the radio guy. Very nice. Tremendous speech. Thank you very much. Congratulations. I think you hit all of the topics. That was tremendous. All right, folks, our final inductee. First and foremost, take a look at the screens. Thank you.
Joe Mihalich was at the helm of the Niagara men's basketball program from 1998 through 2013. He compiled 265 wins, which is the most in MAC history. In his time on Monteagle Ridge, Mihalich led the Purple Eagles to 2 NCAA tournament appearances, 3 NIT appearances, 2 MAC championships, and 4 MAC regular season titles. Mihalich was named MAC Coach of the Year 3 times. He was selected twice as the National Association of Basketball Coaches District 1 Coach of the Year, and he was also honored by being named the 2012-2013 Skip Prosser Man of the Year.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, joined by his personal Hall of Famer, Mary Mihalich. Ladies and gentlemen, our newest inductee, men's basketball head coach, Joe Mihalich.
Giving birth to twins was no problem. Speaking on your behalf is a different situation. Joe and I would like to congratulate Joe's fellow Hall of Fame inductees. An incredible honor to be here. Joe and our family will be eternally grateful to Father James Moore, Simon Gray, Greg Paulus, and the entire Niagara University community. To all the players, how can we say thank you for all that you have been to us? We have been so very blessed and so very grateful. And to our immediate family, and especially to our brothers and sisters who have been our most avid and relentless supporters. We are so very grateful and love you all. And as my mother-in-law would say, go Purple Eagles.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been a dream come true. Um, thank you for all you did. Thank you.
Well, thanks very much. That was tremendous. Mary, you got through it. Mary has never been so glad to sit down in a seat. That's right. Let's go. Like a ticket scalper out front of an arena, Mary was trying to get somebody to do that speech for her. There were no takers because we needed to hear from you, and that was excellent. Folks, at this time, I'd like to welcome up to the stage Niagara University President James J. Marr, CM, for his closing remarks. Father Marr.
Thank you, Todd. I begin this evening, just closing our evening together, by recognizing and thanking our Director of Athletics, Simon Gray. The people who work with me day in and day out could tell you the number of mistakes I've made as president, but that wasn't one of them. Thank you, Simon, for your competence, your commitment to excellence in athletics, in the community, and in the field of competition, and the ice as well. Thank you, Simon. We hold these events not simply for the people that we honor. We do that for sure. But we hold them as a university because we need to hold them. We need to hold people up who are role models, who are examples of how athletics has shaped them and excellence in their lives. Brittany, we thank you for sharing your story tonight. It reminds us of our imperfections as human beings, and we should never forget those lessons. We often speak about our student athletes, and Simon earlier this evening spoke about the top major for our student athletes the last 3 years, biology. We don't simply have student athletes, we have scholar athletes. And Brittany, you are a wonderful example for our student athletes to look up to. Thank you. I've had the pleasure to get to know Kathryn Rafter and Francine in visiting them in Texas and hosting them at Niagara University. Kathryn, we thank you for the gift of your perseverance, for your humor, which disarms people, but keeps us incredibly focused and keeps our eyes on the prize. You are truly a trailblazer and a pioneer. Thank you. Earlier today, I had the pleasure with Simon and Deirdre and Dr. Deborah Colley to visit with the women's hockey team. And I told them, not only is it true that nothing can take away what you have accomplished, only 2 teams in the history of Niagara University have made it to the final rounds of the NCAA tournament with only 4 teams standing, and you are one of them. And we pledge to you that you will forever be held in infamy at Niagara University for the excellence of your commitment and dedication and the example that you are not only to our university community, but to young women who strive for excellence. Thank you for all that you've done. And what more can be said about Joe Mihalich? Often lost is how hard it was for Joe to build a winning program at Niagara University. You set us on a path of excellence, and we are seeking to get back on that path. But your greatest gift is you teach us how to be Father, to create a future for young men and women to invest in their lives and to take up your example. Joe, you are part of us always with Mary and your boys. We hold you in prayer, and we welcome you back to the campus anytime. Thank you. We are an academic institution, so I leave you tonight with an assignment, homework. Go forth as ambassadors of Niagara University and tell not only your story, but our great story, the power of Niagara University. Tell them about a university that has just been recognized by U.S. News and World Report as the university with the highest and top value of all New York State schools. Tell them that story. Tell them about a university that seeks to provide the best-in-class services to our students, to provide career pathways and paid internships, to create an environment of academic excellence and engagement where the administration and the faculty know the names of their students, and they do it for working poor, middle-class kids. Tell them that story about Niagara University. Tell them about a university that is regional, binational, international, and national. And tell them about a university that embraces our Canadian students, faculty, and administrators. And in our DNA, we are binational and exceptionally proud of it. Tell them about that university. Tell them about a university that has put a stake in the ground in Niagara Falls and has pledged with other partners to be part of the solution for the entire revitalization of Niagara Falls as a city, so that one day the majesty of the beauty of Niagara Falls, the attraction, will be matched by the beauty of the educational, economic, personal, and social development of our entire city and its citizens. Tell them about a university that lives in the shadow of St. Vincent de Paul, that will make its claim with others, and one day will achieve the dream of revitalization in our city. And finally, tell them about a university that gives throughout its university and its academic programs the eternal gift of confidence, clarity of direction, and a heightened sense of purpose to all of its students, so they are prepared to go forth as the power of Niagara University. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, as always, Father Marr. Bit of a lengthy homework assignment, but thank you. That was a little risky, for the record. Mary, when I was telling you earlier, I say things pop into my head. Sometimes I go with them, sometimes they stay over there. I think it was all right I brought that one up here, right? Whew. All right, folks, some special thanks to folks that helped put on this weekend of festivities. We certainly want to thank from athletics, Steve Butler, Deidre Palmer, John Monroe, Ryan Garino, Meg Casey, Marianne Demizio, and Renee Punick. Also, from our athletics communications and media production, Kyle Barker, Brianna Jacobs, Sean Gillen, and their student workforce. They've been working around the clock over the last 4 days. Tremendous effort by Athletic Communications. Thanks so much. That way, Kyle won't turn me down in the back of the room. Also, special thanks to Interim Vice President of Institutional Advancement, Jacqueline Rossi, and Alumni Director, Courtney Corbetta. Then finally, we want to thank University leadership, Mike Jeswald and Tom Burns. Folks, that'll do it for our induction ceremony tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow, 1 p.m., join us at the Gallagher Center. Purple Eagles men's basketball team will host the Fairfield Stags. Congratulations once again to all of our inductees. You are enshrined forever in the Niagara University Athletics Hall of Fame. That is a great accomplishment, and thanks so much for sharing all your stories with us tonight. I can read the stats, but the stories are what people walk out of here remembering. Congratulations. Thank you once again for coming. My name is Todd Kellen, and I hope you had a great night, everyone.